All right, my friends, this week we're beginning the Torah reading, which is called Vayishlach, which deals with the monumental meeting between, it begins, the monumental meeting between Yaakov and his twin brother, who hates him and wants to kill him, his evil twin brother, Aisov. Aisov, that unlike Yaakov, when he became 13 years old, became a murderer and a rapist and a thief, and also became very popular and very powerful. And they separated ways after Yaakov stole the blessing from his father that his father wanted to give to Aisov. So because of this trickery that his mother encouraged him to do, Rivka, so because of this, this amazingly successful trick that he did, is he got the firstborn rights from, stole them from his brother Aisov, stole them. He didn't really steal them. The fact of the matter is that Aisov gave him the firstborn rights previously, and the big blessing that he got, that was afterwards. The big blessing, he stole the blessings from his father. That's what he stole. Okay, so Yaakov is running away from his brother. He's running away from his brother, and he's been running, is on the run basically for 34 years. He had 14 years after he left his home, he went into what's called a yeshiva. He sat and learned Torah from Shem and Aver, and then afterwards, another 20 years, he worked for Lavan, and now he has his 4 wives and 13 children, 12 tribes, and 1 daughter. And suddenly he gets the news that Aisov located him, and he's coming. Aisov is coming. What's Yaakov going to do? So it says, Vayishlach Yaakov, the Yaakov sent in front of him Malachim. Now Malachim means messengers. Malachim also means angels. More common, the use of angels. Even though more probable that he sent people, messengers. But in fact, he didn't. In fact, he didn't do the probable. Somehow or other, he had the power to send angels to his brother Aisov, Arza Seir, this land of Seir, in the field of Edom. Edom is going to be the name, which is going to be, the Aisov already got this name. And it says over there, when he sold his firstborn ship for this red, whatever it is, beet soup or lentil soup or something. So then he was called Edom from then on. So he sent to this place called Edom. What did the angels say? We're going to go back. Vayitzavo some lemor, and Jacob, Yaakov, he didn't get his name changed yet. He's going to get his name changed to Israel, but that's going to be in a few more sentences. Next week we'll learn about it. Vayitzavo some lemor, and he's commanded these angels, and he said, okay, you're going to meet my brother, Aisov, right? Kotomun laranid Aisov. So you should say to my master, Aisov. Because I'm subjugating myself in front of him. He's my older brother. Ko omar avdecha Yaakov. That this is what your servant Jacob is saying. Im lavan garti ve'echararata. And that I have been with Lavan. I've been there for 20 years. And that's why I've delayed up till now. You've been looking around for me. I haven't really been running away from you, which is not 100% true, but I wasn't concerned with that. I was concerned with establishing the Jewish nation by Lavan, by Elili Shor B'Chamor, and tell my brother, he's talking to the angels, right? I've got oxes, cattle, donkeys, sheep, men servants, women servants. And I'm sending these messengers to you to tell you to find grace in your eyes. He's really sending them, he's going to send them a big gift. Vayeshuva and the angels went and they came back and they said, it doesn't say what they told him, but obviously they did their message. That's what a malach is, an angel. We went to your brother Aisov, and he's coming to meet you with 400 men with him. He is not looking for peace. That's not what it looks like. Okay, and Yaakov was very afraid, and we'll talk about this. Yaakov was very afraid, and he divides his camp into two camps. And he says, if Aisov comes on one camp and he destroys it, then at least the other one will be able to run away. And then Yaakov prays to God, says, help me, please. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Let's not go too far forward. Just one moment. By the way, I promised in the morning class that I would sing this song. It's called a nigun. And that I would sing this song, which is attributed to the second Rebbe of Chabad. It was really written by his Chassidim. It's called the Kapella Nigun. And I forgot. And if I tell you I'll do it in the end of this class, for sure I'm going to forget again. So I'll sing it to you now. It's called the Kapella Nigun. It's a little bit complicated, but it's very beautiful. Excuse me. Yano, yano. 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 Yama, yamamo, yanado. Yo, yamamo. Yo, yanado. Yada, yano, yano. Yano, yano. Yamamo, momo, yando. Yo, yamamo. Yana, yano. Yo, yadado. Yana, yano. Yama, yanado, yanado. Yamamo, yando, yano, yano. Yano, 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 yo, yando, yamamo, yanado, yobabomo, yamama, mama, 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 yado, yando, yo, yado, yamama, mama, 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 yando, yando. Hoy, mama, 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 ho, you know, you did it, do, ya, mama, 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 boy, you know, you do, you know, you mama, 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 you do, you mama, ya, mama, mama, ya, mama. Oh, ya da ya ho ya mo ya no ya mo mo ya no no ya do. Aradam, 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 ya da ya da ya 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 da ya da ya 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 ya. Aradam, 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 ya ya da ya da ya no ya mo ya da da ya aradam, aradam. Ya ya mama ya mama ya mama ya ya no do ya do ya do ya no ya no ya no ya ya mama ya mama ya no no ya ya mama ya ya mama ya mama ya mama mama ya no ya no ya Ya ye mama moya na mama ya mama mo mama ya na ya na ya na ya na ya na ya ye mama moya mama moya mama mo oh ya mama mo 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 ya ye mama mo 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 ya do ya mama mo ya na ya ma ya no ay ya 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 da ya mo ya ma mo ya mo ya na ya ho ya mo ya do ya mo ya no you do. The reason we sing this song is because today is the anniversary, almost 200 years of the release of the second Lubavitcher Rebbe from prison. He was put into prison because he had enemies, and it's not that important, but his release showed on the release also of his ideas. He was free to spread his ideas of Chassidut as much as he wanted. Let's go back. And so Yaakov is now meeting up with his angels. It's very relevant to now because the angel of Jacob is basically all of the forces that oppose Judaism. We talked about that today. And that's the purpose of Chabad, to make a war. Mashiach is going to make a war against all the forces against Judaism, not necessarily a war with guns and destroying, an intellectual war. And that's really our biggest enemy, are these different, how do you say, philosophies and theories and ideas about what God is and what Judaism is. Here we go. So he sent these angels. Says the angel, says Rashi, Malachim Mamish, he sent real angels. Arza Seir, to this land of Seir. It says Arza, to the land. It should say Li Eretz Seir, but Arza, when it has a hey at the end of it, it's the same thing as have a lamed in front, to the land of Seir. And here we have a very interesting Ramban. The Ramban says he sent to Aisov to Arza Seir. Let's just go to the end. He says, what are you sending? God is saying, what are you sending angels and talking to Aisov for? Just leave him alone. Just forget about it. Go away. It says, because there's a saying, it says in Mishle, in Proverbs, Machzik bozne kelev, that if you grab onto a ears of a dog, don't be surprised if there's going to be trouble. In other words, don't get involved in arguments that aren't yours. God said, he should have just gone on his way. He just said could have gone on his way and said, this is what Yaakov said, but Yaakov could have avoided the meeting. He could have avoided this meeting, says the Ramban. Says this is also hinted at what we say, that the beginning of the fall of the Jewish people is when they try to make friends with the non-Jews. That's what happened in the Second Temple, says the Ramban. The kings in the Second Temple, the leaders of the Jews in the Second Temple, they made a covenant with the Romans. And from that, they were Shava'u Baroma. That's why they were taken prisoner by Rome. And this is the reason that they were fallen down into the hands of the Romans. And this is also mentioned in our rabbis, and also mentioned in books, the book of Yosefon. It's also mentioned that because they tried to make peace with the Romans, that's why they fell. Good. That's what the Ramban says. Here's the Orach Chaim says, we have to understand what's really going on over here. And we haven't got that much time, so Orach Chaim says essentially, why did he have to send angels? Why couldn't he just send regular people? So he says the reason is because two reasons. First of all, if he sent regular people, as Aisov could kill them, or he could prevent them returning. Also, if he sent regular people, it wouldn't impress Aisov so much. By sending angels, so he knew that Jacob had power over angels. Therefore, he'll be a little bit afraid, and he won't attack him so quickly. Here he says, in Derech Remez, in a way of a little bit of sort of Kabbalah, says this hints at 3 different times that the Jewish people had a relationship with Aisov, Yaakov and Aisov. The first time was now, this what we're talking about here, that Yaakov and Aisov, that they were like brothers. We'll see in a minute that the Aisov, we'll see tomorrow, that Aisov, all of a sudden, he changes his mind and he temporarily, at least, makes peace with Yaakov. That's the first period. That's what it says, Aisov Achiv. That's what he says, Vayishlach Yaakov Malcham, El Aisov Achiv, to Aisov his brother. Then after that, it says, Artsa Seir. It doesn't say Eretz Seir. It says Artsa Seir, with a patach, with an ah sound under the aleph to show it's important. This is the time when the Jewish people, the second is from the time when the temple was destroyed until right now, that Aisov is on the top. He's ruling the whole world, and the Jewish people have to sort of bow down in front of him. We're subjugated to him. And that's the second one. It says Artsah Canaan, to show that he's like. The third is going to be in the days of the Mashiach. That's the days that we're waiting for, that then Edom, the nations of the world, they're going to want to learn from the Jews. That's what it says, Sedei Edom. They will be like a field, a plowed field, and they will be able to, they'll grow from the Jewish people. Okay, so let's go back. We're going back over the sentences we just read, right? So it says that Jacob commanded these angels, and he said, this is what you should say to Asav, that I have been with Lavan, and I have delayed up until now. Says Rashi, I have been to Lavan. This is the way Rashi wants to explain all these sentences. Rashi is Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki. He wants to explain like this, that Asav, Yaakov was very worried that Asav wants to come and kill him. Why would Asav want to come and kill him? Because he stole the blessings from Yitzchak. So he's trying to prove to Asav that the blessings didn't really mean much. That's what he says, Garti, I lived temporarily by Lavan. I did not become a big important person. I was just there temporarily. So therefore, you don't have to hate me because of the blessings of my father that he blessed me. What did my father bless me? That you're going to be a big leader and rule over your brother, right? Because you see that the blessings didn't come to be. Number one. Another explanation. Garti is the numerical value of 613. In other words, I was with Lavan, evil Lavan. I was there, I lived, and nevertheless, the 613 commandments I kept. In other words, the physicality of the world did not disturb me the whole time. I didn't learn below Lamarti mi masav arayim, and I did not become evil like his. So I'm still connected to my true purpose in life. I hope, Asav, that you also get connected to that same purpose, right? Get connected to the same purpose, and forget about hating me. I'm not. You think Yaakov should have said, "Listen, I've been by Asav, by Lavan. I've been by Lavan for 20 years, and I learned a few tricks by him. You better watch out for me, right? I know also a few ways to destroy and to cheat and to trick. So you better watch out for me. I'm willing to make peace, but it's going to have to be on my terms because I've learned a few things from Lavan." But that's not what he said. He said the opposite. He said, I've been by Lavan, the evil, powerful Lavan, for 20 years. And all the time I was just doing Torah and the commandments, and I didn't learn anything from him. He was trying to find favor in his eyes. That's one way of learning it. Another way of learning it is to say that you should understand that God is going to help me. He helped me through Lavan. I was devoted to him. And still right now, maybe you don't see him with any weapons or that I'm ready to fight. But the fact is that God is, and what's the proof? I just sent a bunch of angels to you, right? On the merit of what do I send angels? Because I'm connected to God. So if you want to try to destroy me, it's not going to work. The Baal HaTurim is something very interesting. He says, I've delayed up to now. Says, if you say, if so, Shekaimu mitzvahs, that he was doing the mitzvahs, and he's coming to war with him, says, well, you should know that I had to wait until Ata. I had to delay until Ata. What's Ata? Ayin is 70, Tuf is 400, and Hey is 5. Ayin is talking about the 70 years between the first and the second temples. Ayin. between the destruction of the first temple and the building of the second temple, the Jews were 70 years in Babylon. That's the ayin. Tough, 400 years, the Jews were slaves in Egypt. And that's counting from the birth of Yitzchak, there were 400 years. What's the 5? 5 is the 5,000 years that's going to be the Jewish people after the creation of the world. It says in the 6,000th year, in the 6,000th, whatever it is, eon, those are going to be the days of the Mashiach. And in the days of the Mashiach, what's going to be, it says, Olo Moshim B'Har Tzion, then we Jews, we're going to rule over the whole entire world. What does it mean we're going to rule over the whole entire world? That the whole world is going to go according to the Torah, according to what the Creator wants. So therefore, don't mess with me. Eventually, you're going to lose. So Yaakov is still talking to the angels. Angels, tell Aisov that I have oxes and donkeys and sheep and men servants and maid servants, and I'm telling you, I'm sending it all to you to find favor in your eyes. Rashi, it says, I have oxes and I have sheep, goats. Rashi is continuing in the same vein that he had before, trying to convince Aisov that all the blessings that his father gave him are no big deal. He shouldn't really hate him because of it. It says, Abba Omarli, my father said that I'm going to have from the dew of the heaven and from all the fat of the earth. And you see, look, here I have, what do I have? I got a bunch of cattle, oxes and goats and donkeys. They're not from the heaven and they're not from the earth, right? They're in Shor v'chamor. Says usually you say Shor is a shvarim. I have oxen, but sometimes, like a person could say in the nighttime the rooster crowed. It doesn't mean just one. It doesn't say the roosters crowed. That's just a way of saying oxen can also be singular. So I'm letting you know that I'm coming to you and that I'm completely in peace with you, right? I just want to make friends, and that's all I want. Balaturim says, why did he only say I have oxes and donkeys? I mean, it says he also, earlier we said he bought camels and other things. Why not? But he's telling them, ox is referring to Yosef. That Yosef is called B'chor Shor. That he's going to be the one that's going to organize the downfall of Aisov. And also, Yisachar is called Chamor Gorem. Yisachar, he is compared to a donkey. That his learning Torah is what's going to defeat Aisov, the learning of the Torah. But Yeshuva Malachim, so the angels came back, and they said, Yaakov, and they said, we went to your brother Aisov, and he's coming to meet you, and he's got 400 men with him. Rashi, you said, Hayita Omer, you said that he's your brother, but the fact is, he's not your brother. He's like Aisov of Russia. It says, Banu Elachicha, we went to your brother and to Aisov. We went to your brother Aisov. Well, he hasn't got any other brother. Why does he have to say to your brother? Either say we went to Aisov or say we went to your brother. Obvious it's Aisov. He says, no, you think he's your brother. But the fact of the matter is that he's Aisov. He's still the same evil person, and he still hates you. Odeno Sano. He still hates you. But you know Yaakov, and Yaakov became very afraid. Vayetzerlo, and it was very painful to him. What does Rashi say? What do you mean? He was afraid. He was afraid. Maybe he'd get killed. Vayetzerlo, and it was very painful to him. Maybe he's going to have to kill somebody else. He's going to have to murder. That's why he didn't. He was very apprehensive that he was going to have to murder. Or Chaim has a nice one here. He says that maybe it was painful to him. Aisov, he's showing that he's a friend, but really he hates him, right? Aisov, he thought that, listen, maybe Aisov is trying to trick me. Yaakov is afraid. He doesn't know what to do. How should he do? Should he prepare himself for war? Maybe Aisov, will kill him if he prepares himself for war. And Yaakov doesn't really prepare for war. He didn't bring any weapons with him. But on the other hand, maybe he was possibly that Aisov really doesn't want any bad. Maybe he wants just to be peaceful. So what's he do? If he comes in a way of peace and Aisov really wants war, so then he's totally unprepared. If he comes in a way of war and Aisov wants peace, so what's going to be? He's going to see that Yaakov is coming with a warlike look in his face, and then his hatred will become renewed. Therefore, he said, "Vayachatz." That's why he divided the people up. Why did he divide up? It says, "Vayachatz as am asher ito." Vayachatz as am. He divided the people. Why? He said because this is Orach Chaim. Pirush. Half of the people they're showing themselves that they love. It's going to be gifts, but the other half, it says that they're coming, and they are armed. They are armed. They'll figure out some way to arm themselves, and they're ready for war. So it depends that's how he explains it. Others say, no, that very simply, what's it talking about? That if Aisov does attack, at least the other half will be able to run away. He says, because while Aisov would be taking the spoils of the first camp, the other camp will be able to run away. Hasheni, either Kli Milchama, either they'll make war like the Orach Chaim said, or they'll just run away. They'll run and they'll get away. Yaakov said, now he's starting to pray. Oh, here's this news. Aisov is not his friend anymore. Yaakov said, the God of my father Abraham, the God of my father Yitzchak, God that said to me, go back to your land and your birthplace, and I will benefit you. Katonti, I am very small from all of the kindness and all of the truth that you have done with your servant. Kiba makli, because with just my staff, I went over the Jordan River. And now, and now, remember when I came to get married to with Rachel and Leah to find the bride. So it says that Eliphaz stole one of the sons of Aisov. He stole everything that I had, took everything. So I just came over with only my staff and my clothes on my back, and that's all that I had. And now look at me. I've got a whole family. I'm so small from all the kindness that you've given me. Right? I don't deserve anything. Please, God, help me. You already repaid me. Let's go back a little bit. Yaakov said, excuse me. Here, Rashi says, if Aisov comes on one camp and beats and smites it, then the other one will be able to run away. Says, what does it mean? The other one will be to run away. Says Rashi, Al Korcha, if God says because God is with him. So Yaakov prepared himself for three things. He prepared himself for giving a gift. He had all these cattle and everything he was going to give him. Also for prayer and also for war. The Doron, like it says, we're going to see that he made this, he gave all the sheep and everything and the cattle, he gave it as a gift. Number one, for prayer, here he says, Elokei Avi Abraham. It's going to say over here, Yaakov, Elokei Avi, when he prayed. And the third thing was, as he's ready for war, the other one will be for an escape. What does it mean, escape? Like the Orach Chaim said, it'll be an escape, and we'll fight. We'll fight him, and we'll defeat him. That's what Rashi says. I am small from all the kindness and from all the truth that you have done with my servant, because with just my staff I crossed the Jordan, and now I am with two huge camps. Rashi, I'm small. Nim'atu zuchuyoti. My merits have become decreased. Al yedei chasadim, because of all the kindness and the truth that you've done with me. Therefore, I am afraid that maybe mishiv tachtanid v'nis lachlachti pechet. Maybe after you promised me all these good things, and I'm going to go to the land of Israel, etc., maybe I did a sin. Maybe I did something, maybe it was lacking in certainty in your promises. In any case, maybe I don't have any merits anymore. You've done so much for me that maybe I used them all up. What does it mean, call emes, all the truth? Shamarta li, that you've kept all the promises that you made to me up until now. I came through the house of Lavan. I began with nothing. Mamakli, loyal imi lo kesef. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any kesef, azav, no silver, no gold, no sheep, no anything. All I had was just my stick alone. That's the agresh, because we said before that Eliphaz took everything away from him instead of killing him, right? He was supposed to kill him, but Yaakov convinced him that a dead person and that a poor person is like a dead person. So he took everything away from him, thereby fulfilling his promise to his father that he was going to kill him, right? Eliphaz promised his father, Aisov, that he was going to kill Yaakov. And he caught up to Yaakov, and Yaakov said, so steal all my money, and that'll be like you're killing me. And that's what so he hasn't got anything. And now look at, he's got all this tremendous riches, etc. He says, what does it mean, all the truth and all the kindness, right? Truth means that you gave me what I deserve, and kindness means you give me things that I didn't deserve. So Yaakov is saying, I am very small from all the kindness and all the truth. So the Orach Chaim, let me just go over what he says. He says, it should have said, I'm small from all the truth. In other words, you gave me things that I deserve. I served you and I deserve. And all the kindness, things that I didn't deserve. The kindness should come second. So he said, no, it's talking about the infinite kindness of God. And the infinite kindness of God is so great that in truth, you can never repay him. And so that's what he's saying. Up to now, I've been, the kindness that you have given me is true kindness. In other words, really true, unlimited, undeserved kindness. And I'm asking you, God, please continue that. I'm so small from everything that you've done to me. Please, Hatzileni na, save me, please, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Aisov, because I'm afraid of him. Maybe he's going to kill me, come and smite me with the children, the mothers with their children together. He says, from my brother, that he's not acting like a brother, but he's like Aisov, a Russia, like evil Aisov. Now I said, you told me, hey, Tevi Tivi Mach, you said, I will benefit you, I will do good to you, and I will make your offspring like the sand on the sea, that you won't be able to count it from be so much. Well, the fact of the matter is God never told Yaakov that he's going to make his children like the sand on the sea. He said, when did he ever tell Yaakov that he was going to make his children like the sand on the sea? He didn't tell him that. He said, your seed will be like the dirt of the earth. Okay, same thing, basically, right? But okay, yeah, it is the same thing, basically. So why didn't Yaakov say that? Why didn't he say exactly what God told him? God said, I'm going to make your children as numerous as the grains of dirt in the world. Maybe that's even more, could even be more. Why does he only say something that God never told him, right? That I'm going to make your children like the sand on the sea, right? Like the sand on the sea. So he says, really, God did tell him. God said to him, Lo azavcha, I will never leave you. God said, I will not leave you. Adasher, until I do what I told you. What did he tell you? I told you the promises of Abraham. I told Abraham, I will increase your children like the stars in the sky and like the sand on the sea. So I have not fulfilled the promise to Abraham, but that promise still stands, and that promise goes to you. So eventually I am going to give you the children like the sand on the sea. But it seems that somehow or other God found a way out of it, because Aisov is going to come and he wants to kill Yaakov, and Yaakov seemingly does not have a chance. What's going to be? Tomorrow we'll learn that Jacob fights with an angel and gets his name changed. God willing, tomorrow we'll learn that. Have a good day with Mashiach now.